Renee Lawless is kicking off the hour with us this afternoon, and if you don't know that name, I'm sure you know her characters. Many have gotten to know her, of course, through her work on stage, but most recently she's been known on the Oprah Winfrey Network on the hit show The Haves and the Have-Not as Catherine Cryer. We're going to be talking to her not only about her journey in the arts, but what it's been like for her to bring this complex character to life. Renee, good afternoon to you, and welcome to Conversations Live.
Hi, Cyrus. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah. So when you think about now what you're doing with this particular show and it being, again, the hit, I mean, I was reading on thehollywoodreporter.com, and I don't know if you guys, I had asked Ty Lepley when he was on the program if he read everything, of course, that people said. But one of the things that the Hollywood Reporter was saying was that the wave seems to be getting larger and larger. And, each week seems to top, the week before. So when you look at that and you look at how you started off with being able to have 1 million viewers that very first episode, and now to see that continue to grow, do you see where you are today, Renee, as really a validation that you chose the path?
Oh, absolutely. And, I've been on stage for many, many years, but my ultimate goal never was Broadway, even though I've been to Broadway. My ultimate goal was always TV and eventually film. It was my ultimate goal, and I'm no spring chicken. So to not only have achieved one of my ultimate goals and to achieve it at this stature as a series regular is something that I went, oh my goodness, this is actually happening. And I still kind of, and now that I'm also getting recognition by fans, it's still a little foreign. I'm kind of thrown off by it a little bit. It's loving and it's lovely, but people stop me on the street and go, oh wow, you know who I am? So and
what a great thing.
I want to dispel anyone listening to this radio program that are living in those American Idol dreams, and I say this for a reason. I worked very, 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 very hard and very long, and I have had much more, many, 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 many more rejections than I have had successes. And I do this because I love it, not because of the award or the paycheck that it's going to afford me, because our career is very unsure. And you have to love what you do in this business to truly be successful at it. Because if you're just doing it for the fame and glory and paycheck, you're probably not going to either go very far, or if you do, you're not going to last there.
Totally agree with
you
that.
have to love what you do.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that, Renee. I mean,
and the reason why I say this is another reason I absolutely adore Tyler Perry. There are many things, and that's a whole other 5-hour conversation as well. But he wrote a show based on, at least my character. I think he writes great women characters. I don't know why, but he just writes, I don't know about the men, but he does really good with the women, is that he writes how people react realistically. For instance, how I responded with the 9 speech to Candace busting into my bedroom.
Right.
I didn't play the poor, pitiful Pearl wife.
Right.
Catherine just turned around and threw it back and said, don't you dare come in. Whereas that's the way real women would react. But television and Hollywood doesn't necessarily write characters that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to him. And I kind of segued out of, Crystal Fox. I didn't mean to do that. But I think he's written her character so well. She's multi-layered as well. And, there's a leak. That whole episode, I wasn't overly familiar with that piece. And she's literally off camera that morning on set teaching me this song, and then she goes, you're just going to sing with me, and I went, okay. I was like, okay, I'll do what I can do.
Right. It really is a powerful scene. That Renee, and I think when the first time you asked, or your character asked Hannah to pray for you, and you were looking at her, and I think that was another powerful one.
Yeah, I tell you, that day on set, we do things. Mr. Perry comes in, and we'll do a quick rehearsal, and then he starts lining up cameras, and we go. And that day he just says, just stand there and say the lines. That's how he kind of plans it out in his head. And we started, and he said, stop. Camera's in here now. And he stopped it, and he said, this is too powerful. It's already starting. I don't want to blow this. So he got us right in the moment. the whole scene. And, you know, people have often asked, what's it like to cry on cue? Those tears were so natural. I didn't have to think I'm supposed to cry here. It was taking everything in my power not to cry ahead of time.
Right.
You know, it really, and it wasn't that we were supposed to cry at a certain point. And I don't even know if he even wrote in the script crying. I think it was just something that naturally happened. But I've got Crystal Fox, and I'm a Christian, and I love the Lord. And it was a very powerful moment for me just to ask her to pray for me. And the fact that she just grabbed my hand, and that was not a memorized script. She just started praying from her heart, and she's crying, and I'm crying. And at the end of that, when he said cut, the whole crew was crying. We had people, the crew, our sound people, our camera people, people walking up and hugging us. And, you know, and the difference between television and stage, in the stage you get that immediate gratification. You get that applause at the end of a show. You get that laugh at an end of something funny. With television and film, you don't know. You don't know what came through that camera. The director does, Mr. Perry does, but we don't know how powerful those scenes are going to be. So the fact that we impacted our crew told us that scene was going to be a wonderful scene to the public.